Extraordinary effort is every single day you show up and you put in the reps. There's a book called The Score Will Take Care of Itself by Bill Walsh, basically telling you that if you do the fundamentals, you show up, you underwrite the deal, you submit offers, you talk to people, you show up again, you continue to show up, and you continue to do it every single day. That's extraordinary effort.
Well, what we're going to talk about today is a secret formula. It's a formula that we learned a while back, and the formula is the formula to creating miracles, right? This is the formula to creating miracles in your life in anything that you do. So a little backstory. I'm going to let Tenny tell the backstory of how we came about this formula. So go ahead, Tenny.
Listen, anybody want miracle in their life today? Raise your hands. One miracle. No, this is not one of those, who have kind of miracle. This is like a real life miracle. Making change. You know, you can make something change in your life and actually get results for it. That's what the formula we're about to give to you guys today. Okay. So, yeah, Leslie, as you all know, we initially started Exact Capital in 2019. We met, I think, 2016 or 2017, became friends, and then 2019 we actually officially started Exact Capital. So from 2019 to 2020, we were busy running around like chicken with your head cut off, just running around trying to. I used to tell folks on the call that we had ignorant enthusiasm. We're just excited. Jen, right now you're underwriting deals. Leslie did not know how to underwrite deals at this time.
Okay.
He was just excited. Okay. And in this process, we actually got an opportunity to have one of our mentors, Vikram Raya. If you're not speaking, can you mute yourself because it's distracting a little bit? If you're not speaking, please mute. So we had an opportunity to have Vikram Raya as our mentor. So we went to a conference in
Hello?
Colorado. Les, I can hear you. If you're not speaking, please mute yourself before I mute you. All right, let me continue my story. So we went to Colorado for a conference. It's the best ever conference they hosted in Colorado, the Keystone Resort in Colorado. So we went there, and when we went to this conference, there's a lot of accomplished multifamily syndicators. People that are saying they have $1,000, $2,000. They're buying properties left, right corner. And we were getting frustrated, like, why is it that we cannot figure this thing out? How come people are buying deals, people are raising capital, and all these things are happening for everybody else except us? We've gone to the mentorship program, we've paid for the classes, we have this brand that we have called Exact Capital, and nothing is working for us. So I left the conference because I had to come back to Maryland at the time for my daughter's, I think, third or fourth birthday. So I left Leslie there. I was like, I got to go for my daughter's birthday. So I left. Started driving back, and something said I should call our mentor, Vic. So I called Vic up and I said, hey, Vic, this is what we are. We're stuck. Nothing seems to be working. What do we do? What do we do? He said, Tenny, I'm going to tell you one thing, and that's it. Buy this book called The Miracle Equation. That's it. I said, can you tell me a little bit about the book? He said, no. Buy the book, Miracle Equation, and read it. Make sure your partner reads it. And he hung up. That's it. So I called Leslie. I was like, dude, Vic said we should buy this book. It's called The Miracle Equation by Hala Elrod. We got to listen to it. So both of us bought the book, and then we started listening to the book. And the equation in that book is, if you put in extraordinary effort and you have unwavering faith, it produces miracle. Now, I'm going to explain what extraordinary effort is, and then I'll let Leslie explain what unwavering faith is and how that can create miracle. Extraordinary effort is every single day you show up and you put in the reps. There's a book called The Score Will Take Care of Itself by Bill Walsh, basically telling you that if you do the fundamentals, you show up, you underwrite the deal, you submit offers, you talk to people, you show up again, you continue to show up, and you continue to do it every single day. That's extraordinary effort. Now, when it comes to the unwavering faith, I'll let Leslie explain what the unwavering faith is and how, when you combine both, you can actually get produce a miracle. Let's go ahead.
Before I really talk into it, and we're gonna give a bunch of examples of how this, that's that one principle that we learned completely transformed our business and the way we look at every challenge that we face in business, and that has really helped us in being successful. And this is very important because a lot of people, when you want to do something, when you want to go after a goal, when you want to go after a big dream, we go at it from a place of the knowledge that we currently have. We base our ambition or the things that we want to go after by the knowledge that we have. But the reality is, if the knowledge that we already have right now was able to get us there, we would already be there right now. We would not be still looking to go over there, right? So a lot of us want to see it to believe it, right? But what this equation teaches you is like you have to believe it, then you see it. You have to believe it. You have to believe that whatever goal that you're going after actually exists. So when I think about unwavering faith, when I read that book, I remember when Tenny called me, I was still at the conference. He's like, get this book and listen to it too. I got it. Later on, got on the Uber, started listening to it, went on my flight, and I listened to it 2 times during my flight before getting back to Maryland. And when he was talking about unwavering faith, this is what unwavering faith looks like to me. Is that belief that whatever it is that you're going after, that goal that you're going after exists. It's not some existential, it's not a theory, it already exists. And when you think about it, everything that you've accomplished in life has had some sort of this. Whatever goal it is, whether it's like having a PhD or going after a degree or going to school or just going like passing a test, you know that the possibility of that goal already exists and you have unwavering faith that it exists. And when you have that unwavering faith, you go after it. So that unwavering faith, now imagine, for example, Jen, you live in Florida. Imagine you got in your car in Tampa Bay, for example, and you're driving to Jacksonville one evening. You know that Jacksonville as a city, it exists as a physical location. There is no doubt within your mind that Jacksonville exists. But as you get out of your driveway and you're about to head on the road, it starts raining. It's dark outside. And you're driving in your car, you have your high beams on. All you can see as you drive into Jacksonville, when you leave your house, you can see the first 100 yards. Your light is pointing just to that 100 yards. But you know, when you drive out of your driveway and get on the street, the light is going to show you to the next 100 yards. And the light is going to show you to the next. And all you can see are those next 100 yards. But you know that your final destination, without a doubt, it exists, right? That is unwavering faith. Unwavering faith means that you don't have to see the final destination. You don't have to see how you get there. But you know that that destination exists. And all you got to do is to take the next step. And that is that extraordinary effort. Because that extraordinary effort is going to mean that you're going to have to push against a lot of resistance. You're going to drive in that rain. You're going to drive against that 100 yards, right? But this is what happens to a lot of people when you start going in on this journey. You drive 100 yards, you go a few hundred yards, you go maybe 10, 20 miles. The rain continues to pour. It is really dark outside. And you see a gas station. And you want to pull over to that gas station and say, you know what? Let me just chill over here for a few hours and hope the rain subsides. While you're at the gas station, maybe a friend calls you and say, hey, I hear crazy stuff is happening in Jacksonville. There might be a tornado or something is coming up. And then you drive and go back home, right? And the journey starts back all over again. You get distracted along the way, right? And then the fear kicks in. And then you forget to start putting in that effort. But once you adopt this formula in your life, in anything that you do, it can be business, it can be multifamily real estate, it could be another business that you're starting. Once you adopt this formula, you know your destination exists. You know where you're going to go exists. You already put that aside. The next thing now you have to do is the extraordinary effort. The extraordinary effort is what determines how much time it takes for you to accomplish your goal. But what prevents a lot of people from putting in that extraordinary effort is that unwavering faith. Because if you feel like the goal that you're going after is something that you cannot achieve, you're going to back down and you're not going to do it. I'll give you a very good example. We just closed on Grove Parkview, a $49 million acquisition, which was our biggest deal yet. And for that deal, we needed to raise $23 million. Without a doubt, when we started on this journey, we knew that raising $22 million as a goal, it exists. Others have done it, so it's something that is possible. But did we know how to get there when we started? Absolutely not. And when we started on that journey, guess what happened? We saw that first 100 yards, we kept going. Saw the next, kept going. And then we got to a point when, in about August of 2024, we had raised $8 million of the $22 million needed to close the deal. And nothing was moving. No new investors were coming in. August, 8 million. September, 8 million. No new investors. October, 8 million. Then November, boom. Things took off from there. And from November to February, we raised an additional, an additional 12 million to close on that deal. The one thing that did not go away was that extraordinary effort. Along the way, a lot of our partners got to the gas station and stopped at the gas station. A lot of the partners that we started with, a lot of people gave up on that journey. But that formula that we knew, every morning, Tenny, Dr. Oni, and I will wake up and say, okay, this is where we are. We know exactly what we need to do. It's the extraordinary effort that we have to put in every single day. Every single day, every single day, every single day, every single day, every single day. And what you realize is, when you're going on this journey of growth, when you're building a business, you can come up with pro formas. You could come up with formulas that say, hey, maybe I'm going to do 250 a day, 300 a day, 400 a day, or 500 a day. Or you might hear somebody else say, we ended up raising $10 million, which is maybe about $10 million a week. But what you don't see is that in a lot of those cases, that $10 million raised over 10 weeks, 8 of that 10 million might have been raised in the last 2 weeks. Right? But the moment you stop putting in that extraordinary effort, you've destroyed the formula for the miracles. That one equation, you adopt it in your life, in anything that you do, you'll be able to move mountains. I don't know, Tenny, if you have any other examples to share with some of the things that we went through, applied this formula.
Yeah, Claude, you have your hands up before we go ahead. Claude, you have a question?
No, I have a question. You said we raise a hand if we want miracles. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah, based on what Leslie has shared so far, does anybody have a question about how this can be applied to you, to your individual situation, and how that has actually applied to you in the past? Anybody have any question around that before we continue?
Not so much a question, just like definitely can relate, right, to maybe stopping at the gas station and trying to find ways to push through. So, when you think about your why and when you think about, your motivation to keep going, when you know what you have to do, like, is your why, I guess my question is your why the main reason that keeps you going, or is there something else that you do that helps kind of push through, when you start to see these speed bumps and, when you start to see things kind of come up and disrupt your progress, aside from staying, really focused on your why and what your end goal is, are there any little steps that you take in between them to say, okay, from August to November, that was tough, but you kind of mentioned like every day we touched base, or was there something else that you added to keep that motivation going?
Oh, absolutely. It's progress, right? What will make you have motivation is progress. The reason why a lot of people, as they go, so this is what happened. Like, you get on that road and you start driving, you keep driving and you see that, man, I'm not even going anywhere. I'm not even doing anything. Like, I'm not moving at all. A lot of people will be like, man, I'm not moving anywhere. I'm tired. I'm going to go take a nap, right? But if every time you get in that car, you're moving and you're seeing progress, you're actually making progress. In that stagnation time, like Leslie mentioned, you know what the progress we're having? One, the property was still performing. The fundamentals of the asset was still there. Actually, I've called Leslie a lot of times and said, let's do, is something wrong with this deal that I don't know? Like, what's going on? Why are we not able to raise capital? But no, we keep pulling up the financials from the deal every week. The deal is still, fundamentally, the deal is still good. The basis is still great. The business is still working the way it's supposed to. And we're having a conversation with people. Just that, I'm not even looking to invest right now. And we know that that is not an indication of anything that have to do with them. It's have to do with timing, right? So because we have our why and we're making little progress, and we've done it before, meaning we've raised capital and we've closed deals before, we know that that is possible without any doubt. We need time. And that was the time that we needed. And because we consistently put in the work, guess what happened? The universe and the world looked at it like, I'm just going to let these guys get what they want. And they opened up the door and then we're able to go through. And that was what it was. Delay doesn't mean that you're going to stop. Delay just means that there's a time frame where things are going to be tough and it doesn't last forever. So in our mind, it's like that delay is not forever. It's going to be a time when it's going to open up and then we'll be able to have our breakthrough.
Sure.
Right? So another reason why you have unwavering faith. Let me give you guys another reason why you have an unwavering faith. I don't know if some of you might have heard this story.
What the hell's going on with this thing?
Some of you might have heard about this story. I moved from Maryland to Charlotte in 2020. Like, guys, just listen to this. This is how unwavering faith works. Me and Leslie went to Keystone Resort for that conference. We came back, and when we came back, we had a deal to raise capital on. Leslie called me and said, Tenny, there's this guy in the hospital that's going to be our partner. I said, dude, whatever you're smoking, just keep smoking it. I don't care. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not sure how he's going to be our partner, but we're not looking for partners right now. Guess what happened? That same guy is Dr. Julius Oni, and he became our partner. Right? That's one. Faith. Two. After we came back from Keystone Resort, I just came. I told Leslie and Julius and my wife, we're moving to Charlotte. Why? I said, because I need to be boots on the ground in Charlotte. There's absolutely nothing bringing me to Charlotte. Nothing. I don't have family here. I don't have all my friends, even my partners in Maryland. I said, we're moving. Why the hell did I spend close to $40,000 to $50,000 moving by myself to Charlotte? Because of the only reason that would happen is because of the belief and the faith that I have in what we're doing. That if I make that move, I'm actually shifting something in the universe to let the universe know that this is serious, this is important to me. I made that move. I sold my house, came here, I rented a crappy house. My wife was like, I cannot live here. Before I finally bought the house that we're in right now. But my wife was 7 months pregnant during the height of COVID. Like, it was August of 2020, the height of COVID. My wife was 7 months pregnant. So I share all of this story to tell you guys that if you believe in what you're doing and you have faith that this actually works, and you put in the work, you're going to get the results. Now, when I got here, this is when it happened. We got here in August, September, October. My wife was like, you said if you move down here, we're going to have the deal the next day. Where's the deal? So I said, I'm not sure yet. So I've given some of you on this call that mentees, I've given you guys a strategy on how to identify the top brokers in each market. The same strategy I shared with you guys is what I'm about to discuss right now. I found out the top broker in Charlotte at the time, one of the brokers called Ty Cohen. I reached out to him. He said, I'm not in Charlotte. I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. And guess what happened? I've never met this guy before. He booked a meeting for me to meet with him. I got in the car, 3 hours drive, 3 hours back. Guess how many minutes I spent with him? 15 minutes. I had a 15 minutes meeting with him. I'm not even sure what the outcome of the meeting is going to be. I wasn't sure about what he's going to do. I just put in the work and went over there, believing that something was going to come out of it. Guess what? He gave us our first deal. So you see the belief, which is you have that faith that what you're doing is actually real and it's going to work, and you put in the work, making all those moves, traveling up and down, actually created the results that we were looking for, which was our very first deal. And that till today is continuing to produce results. So those are some of the examples of some of the things that actually help shift things when you combine this equation to actually give you a significant amount of results.
And I
Leslie, anything else?
And I challenge anybody on this call, take a look back at anything that you've achieved in your life, and you're going to see this equation falling in place right in there, right? The mistake we make sometimes is we think that it takes a different method to achieve bigger goals than it takes to achieve the other smaller goals. Because when we think about the bigger goals, then the size of the goals scare us a little bit because we don't know how to get it. I can give many examples, right? In your life, maybe you have a degree in whatever subject that you have a degree in. Also, a lot of people in our community are medical doctors. Some of them are the very first in their families that ever became medical doctors. But they had that belief, that dream, that unwavering faith that being a doctor is something that already exists, right? And they put in extraordinary effort along the way in order to get it done. And they got it done. We've had some of our investors that were doctors in Africa that had to go through Europe and then come back to the US and went through all of these challenges just to get to that end point. The unwavering faith was there that that final destination is there, right? And now they're enjoying the results. So it's the same principle that you apply in multifamily investing. It's the same principle that you apply in business. It's the same principle that you apply in life. The moment you fail is the moment you start. And there are going to be a lot of times when you cannot even see the next 100 yards. All you can see is 50. And you can wake up with a lot of pressure, of challenges, of obstacles, of failures, of different things that are going on. But you just got to get up and focus on the next step. Focus on the next 50 yards. Focus. The only thing you have control over is the amount of effort that you put in, right? But the thing that stops people from putting in that effort is that belief, that unwavering faith that the goal exists.
Yep. I'll give you guys another story, guys. So you see here, we sit down here and say, "Oh man, we've raised $8 million on deals. Ah man, we have this 49.1 million dollar deal. Oh, we have this 25.3 million dollar deal to raise." Guys, when we started, some of you here are about to do $10 million deal, $15 million deal. Great job. This Leslie you're seeing right now, I told him we'll buy our very first deal. We'll buy it at $1 million. He was like, "How?" Some of you that are wondering about the how, right? How the hell are we going to raise $300,000 to buy the deal? We don't know anybody. Nobody knows about what we're doing. How are we going to do it? Guys, how did we get it done? Is the miracle equation. We just kept putting in the work with the belief that what we're doing makes sense. And actually, the vehicle which we've all chosen, which is this multifamily assets, the fundamentals still remain that it serves a problem, is a product that actually solve a problem that you can actually see. It's practical. It's not anything that's ambiguous that you don't understand. It's right in front of you. So you knowing that the vehicle that you've chosen is right in front of you and it's clear. The question is, how do I grab it? How do I hold it? And that's why a lot of you are on this call right now. It's like we had like the GPS that's guiding you guys on how you can actually go grab it and hold it because you know that it's real. You believe that it's real. You believe it's attainable because somebody else has actually done it before. And it's in your mind. You will not be on this call if it's not in your mind. There are a lot of other people in your family or around you that doesn't even know or doesn't want to think like you're thinking right now. So because it's in your mind and you believe it's real and you put in the work, it creates that miracle for sure. So we're going to pause right now, see if anybody have questions, if you have input, because we want this not let it be like we're just talking. We want it to be interactive. So please, you guys chime in. Give us examples of when this equation has actually worked for you. If you've not thought about it like this, I'd love to hear some of your experiences as well.
Go ahead, Paninga. Unmute yourself.
Experience. This was in 2019. It was the first social project that I conducted in my home country. We had a budget for the project. The goal was to reach at least 50 women. Weeks into planning, my team members were already advising us to change the idea because no funds were coming in. But I knew that what we wanted to do was necessary. It was very, very necessary. So I advised that we should stick to the goal. And just 2 weeks of the project, we had the money we needed. So I mean, we did so much for many weeks. There was like no outcome, no positive feedback from people. But suddenly, a week or two to the project, we got all the money we needed. So while Leslie and Tenny was sharing, I just really quickly remembered that indeed, if you sustain effort consistently and believe in what you really want to do, definitely that's a miracle equation. And a quick one also, I'm doing a PhD in MSU, but I started applying for the PhD in 2019. I, I,
Wow.
I got rejected in 2019. I got rejected in 2020. I got rejected in 2021. But in fact, in 2022, I applied to 17 different schools in the US. So I sustained effort consistently before I got not just one yes, but I got like at least two offers in 2022. And now I'm doing the PhD. So it's indeed a miracle equation to have sustained effort and the faith in what you want to do.
Nice. That's a really great example.
Yeah, that's a
Thank
powerful
you.
example, man. That is so good. Because you see, like the project you were talking about, you could have given up after like a month of trying to get that fund. Like, nah, this is not gonna work. And that's what a lot of people do. I see it in business and it hurts sometimes, but I see it a lot of times. Like, for example, this when we started this business, a lot of the people that we went to that first multifamily conference with, the one we went to in DC in Arlington. In the hall, you had at least 150 people. In that hall, zero has a multifamily investing business right now, except Tenny and Leslie that were in that hall. Zero. I'm talking about nobody else. A few of them got a couple deals, then gave up along the way. Went back to flipping houses, went back to doing all of this other stuff. So it happens every day. So what I've learned is like in life, like the laws of life appear everywhere in nature, in different things, in physics, in everything that we do. Even the laws of success apply in everything that we do. Another great analogy of this same miracle equation is like, especially for a lot of us that grew up in Africa, where you had to go pump water from a well, right? So when you go to pump water from a well, you can look down deep down that hole, you see just a reflection. You're like, okay, there's water there. And now there's a pipe where you have to pump. You start pumping. The first few minutes is just air. You are pumping. You're pumping. Nothing is coming. Nothing is coming. Some people give up like that's not real water, right? But once you know that's water, you keep pumping, you keep pumping, you keep pumping. Or even sometimes you go to that well, you cannot even see what's underneath because there's a
I
cover
thought you
there.
would see it at all. Yeah.
You don't see anything, but you believe that there's water there, right? When you start pumping in the beginning, there's nothing that is coming out. You keep pumping, keep pumping, keep pumping, keep pumping, and then you get to a point you start feeling a little bit of resistance, right? And that is in life too, in business and anything that you do. That's when that resistance starts coming. That's when people back out. When you face that challenge and resistance, that's when people back out. They want to divert. I'm just gonna leave this pump here and maybe take my bucket and go to the stream and go carry water. No, but for the people that keep pumping, and you pump against that resistance, then you get now to a point where you get in flow. The water is flowing. At that point, you don't need much more effort. A little bit of effort gushes out a lot of water. A little bit of effort gushes out a lot of water. A little bit of effort gushes out a lot of. But guess what? The moment you stop that effort, the pressure goes back down to zero. And in order for you to get that water back up again, you're going to go through again that same kind of effort, right? So that's what we tell our mentees a lot of times. Once you start on this journey, the mistake you don't want to make is don't stop. Don't stop. Once you start on anything that you're doing, don't stop. Keep going. You're going to face obstacles. It's part of life. It's part of nature. It repeats itself in so many other things that you could look at, right? It is expected. When you start facing that resistance, smile because the breakthrough is coming. Just like that water that you're pumping, when you start facing that huge resistance, that's when the gush of water is about to start pulling out. If you're just going out, everything is going smoothly, that's good. But know that the resistance is coming. And when it comes, pump harder. Because that's when you're gonna get that's when the miracles happen. And that's what we did with Growth Backview. We kept going. We kept going. We kept having webinars. And in one of those webinars, the breakthrough came.
Yep. He don't stop. As you can tell, Leslie's a village boy. He grew up in a village where there was no water. So I had to get him out of that village and bring him to America. Now you look at him talking about multi-million, million, million. See? So that's
I'm a
good.
proud village boy.
Let's see. Now you can go to the tap and throw water like water just come everywhere. You can go and get to the shower, the water. Anyway, you're having fun.
That's
But
why even in the summer I take a hot shower because I didn't grow up with one.
hey guys, see. So,
Sure,
anyways,
comment.
let me not talk about me how I'm a village boy too. Let's leave the village boy on this call. All right, let's continue.
Padinga
But
has
this
something.
is
Go ahead.
oh please go ahead, Paninga.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just wanted to make one statement, and it's still from the first story that I shared. People will eventually believe in you when you keep believing in you. And the person who gave us like the largest donor in the first project that I did in 2019, she first said, "Hey, Paninga, I don't have money to contribute." But I think the week after that, she sent me she sent me what nobody sends throughout the whole campaign process. I mean, so I was really surprised. Why is this so much of money coming from somebody who had initially said, I don't have money to contribute? So I believe that people will eventually believe in you and what you do when you keep believing in you.
That's a powerful one right there. How can somebody invest in what you're doing when you don't believe in what you're doing? Is it possible? Because you can when you have a conversation with people, you can transmute the energy to them. They can see the passion and the belief and everything that you have in your blood and your strength, like in your whole system about it. So that's as an amazing principle. And that's why in this whole game that we're in, we try to let everybody that's part of this core understand the value that they have and the work that they're putting into it, so that you have that belief in yourself that you've built yourself to become something that's valuable enough to attract the capital that you need to get it done. So I like that thing, Paniga, a lot. So that's a beautiful example. And then what else? I think there's an analogy I was going to give as well. So Leslie talked about the momentum. You start pumping, and then the water now starts flowing, right? And once it starts flowing, at that time, instead of you to be using two hands, you can just literally put one of your fingers on it and just be doing up and down, and water will just be coming out. Do you guys know what happened with rice, which is the new deal that we had? Did you guys think that we went and thought of million deals and then chase Grove? We thought we actually on the road over 2,000 deals for Grove to get Grove. Rice, do you think we thought 2,000 deals to get Rice? No. We closed Grove. Somebody called and said we have another deal, and that's how we have got Rice. Guess what? I can share my screen right now and show you guys a text message. I just got a call about a property here in Charlotte, a brand new property that they've not finished building it yet. He said, I heard about Rise. Do you want this one? No, actually, let me show you guys a text message. Let me share. I'll share you guys a text message so that you guys will understand what I'm talking about. This happened this morning. Your screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
I sent January 2nd. I sent this guy a happy New Year message. He did not reply to me. Can you guys see my message?
Yes.
He didn't reply to me, guys. January. Where are we right now? We're in June. Hey man, hope you're doing well. Are you able to share where you've tied up the rice? May have something similar in Charlotte. Hey buddy, how do you mean? You mean the price point? Yeah, just curious price per door. We're buying it at 25.3 million. What do you have? We can lock it up, right? And close it after this one. Give me a shot when you're free. We do shortly. And that is an off-market deal that just came to us today. They've not
Guys,
even, they're about to get the CEO, the certificate of occupancy done, and they want us to tie it up and close it once we close the rights. What did I
brand new
just
deal.
say? It's brand new. That we're going to go do the lease up. Remember what I just analyzed? We've put in all this work, pumping on Grove, pump, 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 pump. We're about to die. And then guess what? Boom, the rights came out of off market, and now they're all reaching out. Do you guys want to see another example? Let me share another example. Share screen again.
This is what we call show and tell.
Look at this one. This is coming from the executive of the Cushman organization. And this is the message about the deal that they have that I should take a look at. He sent it directly to me. I just copied Miles right here for him to see it when he replies. Right? Do you guys know the people that are sending us messages right now from all of these deals? They are the guys that are selling the brand new deals in Atlanta. Any brand new deal that they have, they're sending our way now. But guess what? In the last 5 years, some of these guys don't even want to know who you are or answer any question that you
I
have.
remember they used to hang up the phone on me when I was doing acquisitions, and I used to call with that broker script, you know. But you understand the formula, you know it, right? The only day you stop is the day you die. That's the way all this stuff that we're doing. That's when it ends. That's it. Right? That's when it ends. And this is what you guys have to this is what you have to think about, right? This is what a lot of us do not think about when we go through life. At the end of the day, the time that we have on this earth is very short. This is the gap. That's the gap that we're in right now, right? The end is here. You are here right now. All you have is this little gap that you have right now. Any day that you spend not doing the thing that you're passionate about, not going after that vision that has been implanted in you. Because if any of you are here, if you're being attracted to our stuff, it's because there is something inside of you that keeps talking to you that there has to be more. And the moment you do not, the unfortunate truth that I have for everybody is like that never goes away. It's never going to go away. It's going to keep annoying you no matter how much you push it away. But guess what? The more you push it away, you keep closing on that gap. You keep closing on that gap. You keep closing on that gap. And there's a research study that was done where like a psychologist went to hospice. You know, hospice is where they keep people where they're about to pass away. Was good to hospice units and was interviewing a lot of the patients in hospice, like what are some of their biggest regrets? Like what are some of the biggest regrets that they have in life? And 90% of them was that they were afraid to go after the things that they really that goal, that dream that was placed inside of them. Right? And the reason why a lot of people do not go after that is because you do not understand this equation. Trust me, that book, The Miracle Equation, like made us understand that we could do anything. Because there's a formula, it's a mathematical formula. You follow it, the results happen. Tenny is showing you guys the results. Guess what? That's just the beginning. We want to get to 10 billion of assets under management. All we have is 217. The unwavering faith that is there is there. Are we going to face those uphill battles, those resistance points along the way? Absolutely. You think we're going to stop? Hell freaking no. So wherever you are in your journey, all you got is the gap, man. Go out there and tap into the miracle equation.
And the beautiful thing about everybody's on this call, you have an opportunity to have a guide, right? So you're working and you believe, and you have a guide that's help you navigate. Because as you're going in that journey, there's going to be obstacles, right? There's definitely going to be obstacles as you go through it. But the question is, how do I navigate these obstacles when they show up? The reason why Excel Capital and we are here to be a guide is because when the obstacles show up, we'll be able to say, that particular part, if we go that path, there's going to be issues. Why don't you go this way? Right? Why don't you use this route? Why don't you talk this way? Why don't you send this kind of message? Why don't you make this kind of phone call? Why don't you do the webinar? we don't 100% know it all. If we tell you that we know it all, please just hang up. Ah, I'm still figuring it out this stuff every single day, coming up with different concept on how things can work, and we're trying it and seeing. We had a call yesterday. We had a webinar yesterday. The webinar didn't go as well as we planned. Me, Leslie, and Adi was on a call for 2 hours yesterday night. I was done from this office. I went out there. I was supposed to go eat dinner. I wasn't eating no dinner. My wife was like, I thought you were done. I'm not done. We are going to figure out what happened yesterday. And that is how we figure things out. And guess what? All of you on this call, once you figure it out, we give you guys the blueprint. This is exactly how we did it, right? So we say this to say, I say that to say, you apply the miracle equation, which is you put in the work and you believe what you're doing. You keep working. You're going to be having issues. We still have mentors, guys. I'm not cheating. There was a time we were like, okay, what do we do now? Got the phone and we sent a message to our mentor. What do we do? He sent a voice note. This is exactly, they said, Tenny, this is exactly, I want you to listen carefully. This is exactly what you guys need to do. This, and this. And that's it. I don't need to call him back and say, okay, you explain more. No, he has already told you what you need to do. If you like, do it. If you don't do it, that's a business. Right? So as we are here serving as a mentor and a guide, we have a guide too. And he has a guide too. So everybody has a guide that's helping them navigate the path towards success. All right. So I'm going to pause there, see if people still have questions and anything that they want to add to it. Let's fill out on this call. Okay. And how long are we doing this for, guys? Is it till 1?
No, it's to 45.
Okay. So that means we've exceeded.
Yeah,
It's over the time. Guys, if you keep me here, I'll talk to you tomorrow and I forget about all the things I need to do. So bye-bye, everybody. Talk to you all see you guys the next time.
Yeah, but see you guys on Tuesday. Please, next time you come, you have any questions, any challenges that you're facing, also come with any good news that you have that you want to share with the community as well. Let's keep uplifting each other. Let's keep growing. Just go write that equation down and never forget it. And with that,
buy the book too.
Yeah, buy the
Please
book.
buy that book. We don't have affiliation. Let's. Adi was supposed to have affiliation week so that we can get paid when we recommend books.
Can you share them?
Yeah, I'll send them the link over.
Was there 2 books you mentioned? I heard the miracle equation. Was there a second book you mentioned by Bill Walsh?
Yes, the score will take care of itself by Bill Walsh.
The score will take. Okay.
Yeah, before we go, I have a story for that one. Please don't go yet. Don't go. Once the story.
Story man.
So that book was a problem. This is what happened. So I heard about the book. I bought it. This was in 2022. So I called Leslie up. He's like my dumping ground when I'm angry. So I was listening to the book, and what the book was saying is that you have to put in a lot of work for you to get a result, and you have to do a lot of fundamental things right. And if you do it well, you get the result. So I was like, all right, let me start driving to Atlanta to go figure out how to get a deal. So we did a deal in 2021, and in early 2022 we did another deal. But we now had a big gap when we didn't do any deal. So I was not frustrated, like, why are we not doing a deal? What's going on? So I said, okay, let me go to Atlanta. So as I was listening to the book, I called him and I was just going off about our team. How our team were not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I told them to put the presentation together. They will not do it. He just listened. Say, okay. So what are we going to do? So anyways, I used that book because the book said, because that's when all this economic issues started. Like inflation, interest rates started going up. So I now realized that we were not putting in the amount of work that's required to get the results that we're looking for. So immediately I told him, okay, immediately I finished venting, I told him, okay, let me start making phone calls. Let me start calling some of these brokers. So I got off the call with him and I called the broker. He said he's at a golf course, but I have a deal for you to go check out. And that's how we got Ascend at Stone Mountain. So that book actually spit out Ascend at Stone Mountain, the other deal that we have in Stone Mountain. So that's the story behind that book. So that's why it's a powerful book. So if you read it, you'll be angry.
Sounds good. All right, thank you.
Guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. All right, guys.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of your week.